y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Real and Raw with Ree. Happy Hump Day. We are on episode 45. So on today's episode, we are going to be discussing girl trips. So grab a glass of your favorite drink and let's get on into it. So if you really know me, you know that I don't deal with a lot of women. So the only girl trips that I go on pretty much involve my sister and her friends. Other than that, it's like legit family trips. But for me, I need to know like who's all going. Not that I have an issue with anybody like ever, because I don't be in drama, I don't be in beef, none of that. If it's ever an issue with somebody, it's one-sided. It's never mutual. But for any trip or any place that I go and it's going to be a group of people, I always need to know like who's going. Just so I can see, kind of get a feel for what the vibe will be like based off of the people, if you know what I'm saying. But I feel like depending on, you need to know when it comes to trips, period, you need to know when the trip is, of course, and I feel like you need to have enough time to get your affairs in order. Like, you need to have time to save up for the trip. Like, I'm a person, I need to make sure my bills are paid before I go on the trip, because you have to live when you come back. And I don't think some people really care about how serious that is because some people might be like, well, shit, I'll deal with that when I get home. But no, I need to make sure that my bills are paid before I leave. And then it's like, you kind of need to be looking at that payday when you come back. Like, before you go on a trip, you need to be like looking at the calendar, like, okay, got paid here, got paid here, got paid here, got paid here. When we come back for the trip, I'll be getting paid again. Or when we go on the trip, like the day before the trip, I'll be getting paid. Or while I'm on the trip, I'm getting paid. What bills do I need to pay? That's the type of person I am. Because, excuse me, I refuse to go on a trip and spend all my money. And then I come home and I'm looking stupid. Like, no. And I'm also the person where I need to have spending money. So I'm putting money to the side because I never want to go on a trip and be like, damn, I can't get this because I don't have enough money. No, not at all. So yeah, you need to make sure that your money is in order as far as like what you need to put to the side to make sure your trip is paid in full. How much money do you want to spend on the trip or take with you? I feel like, shit, take as much as you can. Like when I went on a cruise with my sister, I'm going to say it was like 3-4 years ago. Baby, I didn't know how much money to take on that trip, but I had $800 worth of spending money. Because I think I started saving the day we were talking about going on the cruise to the time we were going on the cruise. So I made sure, that I saved money like every week, every 2 weeks or something. I don't know, but I didn't even spend half that money on the trip, but that's the type of planning that I like to do. And I feel like everybody should do that, or at least take like money that you can be comfortable with. Like if y'all want to go to a bar, y'all want to go to a nice fancy restaurant or something, not saying that you got to spend hundreds of dollars at the restaurant, but you shouldn't be like, damn, that's over my budget, or oh, I can't do this activity because this, or I can't do that because of this. Like penny pinching. Like, nah, I don't agree with that. I don't feel like you can go on a trip with anybody that is penny pinching. For example, like if y'all Uber places, that needs to be in order. Like whoever is paying for the Uber, send the money right then. Don't wait like days later and all of that, and then it's like a whole bunch of confusion. Or it can be like, okay, you can pay for us to go here, next person pay for us to go here, next person pay for us to go here, but everybody need to be dipping in them pockets. That's how I feel. I'm all about being fair. I'm not gonna be that person that's like, oh no, I'll cover it. and ain't nobody giving me my money back. I'm not that person. I'm also not that person, like, if we go to a restaurant and you penny pinching, like, I'll pay now. I'll help you out, but I need my money back. Because you knew that we were going on this trip. So I'm not going to be out here spotting nobody for free. Like, not doing it. I need my money back. We're friends, but baby, I need my money back. Because I bought enough money on this trip. We both knew about this trip months in advance. So, no, need my money back. So I feel like people that you go on trips with, you have to make sure, like, you got to kind of know these people's pockets. I hate to say that, but you got to know, like, are you going on a trip with, this will tell you right here. When y'all go get these Airbnbs, these hotels, to me, I like to stay at nice ass places. I do. But at the same time, I'm watching the price. I'm not staying, for one, you don't have to stay at somewhere that's like thousands of dollars, big ass mansion type shit. But you need to stay somewhere where you are comfortable laying your head. Like, you ain't got to be, it's like you don't feel no shit crawling on you or anything like that. It ain't got a weird smell, anything like that. So you get what you pay for. Yes, you do. So you got to look at pictures, you got to look at reviews, ratings, all of that. And some people don't look at it. They just look at the price, and I'm not that kind of girl. I got to be comfortable where I'm laying my head at. I want to stay somewhere nice, but I'm not staying anywhere too expensive, but I'm going to be comfortable where I'm at. And some people look at it like, well, we ain't going to be laying out anyway. Baby, no, I'm not about to lay in a dump because you want to be cheap, like super cheap. No. We have months to pay for trips and all of that, so you got to have your money in order. If you want to go stay at the dump, feel free to go, but I'm not going with you. So, yeah, that's another thing. So I feel like if a person is being cheap when it comes to where they laying their head at, that's probably not the person that you need to take on the trip with you, because it's going to be some money issues when y'all get there. It's going to be money issues. And I feel like you also got to know, like, if you're the type, like me, for example, I'm the type of person where I love a good bar, a good lounge. I like to have a good time. I like to party. Like, that's my vibe. Like, when I went to Charlotte one time, me and this guy went to I think it was like a little bar or whatever, bar lounge type thing. It was a real chill, nice spot. They closed at, I think, 2. But then I was like, damn, I'm not ready to go home. Like, this is my last day here. I'm not ready to go home. I still want to go out. I still want to party. So we went to a spot that stayed up until 5 o'clock. I wish I knew the name of the place because I would try to go again. But you also have to think about who you're going with. Like, are these people the type of people that just like to sit and look pretty? Because for one, that's not my vibe. That's not my vibe. I'm not going anywhere just to sit down and look pretty. Like, I'm not doing that. Now, we can go to a restaurant and sit down and look pretty, but I'm not going nowhere that has a dance floor, music, and I'm just sitting down and look pretty. That's not me. If you know me, you really know that's not my type of vibe. Like, of course, I'm going to be sitting down, scoping out the scene or whatever when I first get there. But when them drinks kick in and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm vibing, I'm up. I'm moving, I'm dancing, I'm having a good ass time. I'm not going nowhere, buying a booth or anything like that to sit and look pretty and just be talking about people or just sitting there looking like I'm too good. No. Excuse me. And I have always said that, like, it's funny seeing people at bars and lounges and they're just sitting there and just trying to look pretty and, like, got shades on and shit like that. Like, that's not me, honey. I'm up, I'm shaking. I ain't gonna say that. I'm up, I'm dancing. I said I want to go to a place where I can get on a bar. Like, excuse me, if I go to a place where I can get on the bar, baby, I'm up there. I'm having a good ass time, okay? I ain't taking no clothes off. But I'm up there, I'm vibing, I'm having a good time. So I feel like you got to be mindful of who you go on these trips with. I know that everybody is not the, oh, I'm staying out to 5 a.m. type of person, but I can party. So it's like how I went out by myself when I went last weekend when I went to Myrtle Beach, and I went out by myself because there was literally no other option. Depending on where I am, shit, I'll do that. Because it's like, I came on this trip, I'm here to have fun. Like, I'm not going to be sitting in. Now, it depends on also what time you got out there. And because I feel like I'm the type of person where I don't want to go out too late. And then by the time my drinks kick in, we rolling out. Like, I will be pissed and I'm be like, okay, I'm going to hit up another spot. I'll send y'all my location and all of that. Make sure I'm good, squared away. But no, I'm not. That's like me going to the bar at 11:30, 12 o'clock, leaving at 2. That's no. My drink's probably not going to kick in till about 1:30 or so, 1:15. It always depends on the vibe, honestly, which is kind of weird to me because when you drink by yourself, it's like the alcohol doesn't hit the same as it does when you're with a group of people and y'all vibing. So, or maybe it's just me, I don't know, but yeah. So you got to be mindful of who you go out with when it comes to going out and all of that. And then you can't be with people who complain all the time. Like, always have something negative to say. They have something negative to say about the room. They have something negative to say about the restaurants that y'all go to, the activities that y'all do. Like, nobody wants to be around those people. So I feel like, kind of like, invite people who you know like to have a good time, who have money, who are here to enjoy themselves, and then make sure that the trip is peaceful, you know, because, and rooms are important. Rooms are very important. I like to have rooms to myself, or I don't mind rooming with my sister. But it's nothing like having a room to yourself and being at peace. And I don't like ghetto ratchet behavior. That's why I don't deal with ghetto ratchet people. So if those are your type of friends or friend group or whatever, that's cool. That's awesome. You're used to it. But I'm not that kind of person. Like, I can't do the ghetto ratchet, and I like to have peace on my trip. Like, we can turn up, we can have a good time, but I don't want any drama, any nonsense, anything like that. I don't want you like arguing on the phone all the time. Like, I'm not with that. It's just like, baby, you should stay at home. If we're being completely honest, you should have stayed home. Another thing is, you have to talk about if you have your own room, you have to talk about bringing company back. And I haven't been on that many girls trips, but that's not really a discuss. Now, if I'm on a family trip, of course I ain't gonna bring nobody back to the room. I'm not gonna do none of that because, for one, I don't want my family in my business. It's a respect thing there, especially if they're like little kids or whatever. I'm not gonna do that. That's not my kind of vibe or anything like that. But if it's a girls trip, I feel like if you want a piece of meat, you can get it. I feel like, let us know that you might bring somebody back. Send pictures of who this person is, all of that you bringing back to the room, so I can lock my door first off. But yeah, I just feel like, let us know, like, okay, this is who I'm thinking about bringing back, or inviting to the room. Didn't tell him the room number, nothing like that. I'm just gonna go get him and bring him up. That's what I would say. Go get him, bring him up. Don't tell him what your room number is, like through text or anything like that, which he's going to see it when he gets to the door. But it's like, don't tell him what your room number is through text. I'm like big on that. If you want to know like an address or something, I will tell it to, like, I feel like you can tell them the location. But when it comes to like your actual number, like where you are actually located, I like to be on the phone with people just so it's like not stored away in your phone, if that makes sense. But yeah, so he gets up to the room or whatever. Y'all do what y'all do. I don't recommend that he stays. I really don't recommend that he stays, because which I hate to say, you don't really know him, but one night stands do exist. So let's not be judgy. Like, we ain't never did it, and if you haven't, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's something that you just don't do. But some of us do like one night stands. So yeah. I will say, yeah, don't let him stay the night. Kick him right out. Sorry if that comes off a little harsh, but men do it all the time. I don't see an issue for women doing it, especially if it's like somebody that, I mean, y'all can connect the next day, but if it's your last day, I mean, y'all have exchanged numbers or whatever, so you don't live there anyway, so it's not like he's going to see you on a regular. And plus, you can let him know, like, just letting you know, like, we having sex, and then you gotta go. Because, yeah, I don't even feel like you gotta explain why you have to go. But, yeah, we having sex, we vibing, but after that, you gotta leave. Like, it's no staying the night. Go ahead and let him know that before he get over there. That's what I'm all about. What time are you leaving in the morning? If they're staying the night, that's what I'm all about. Because people like to, like, overstay their welcome. And I'm not big on that. Like, I get annoyed. I don't like to I don't like people in my space for too long. Like, if you stay the night or whatever, please be gone by, like, 9 o'clock or so. 9, 10 o'clock. I don't like people in my space for too long. It's just like, please go home. So, yeah, just let him know he can't stay the night, but just communicate with your girlfriends, like, I'm bringing a dude back. But if you are rooming with somebody, don't do it, because I feel like it's very disrespectful to do that. Unless both of y'all bring somebody back and y'all on some fuck next to each other type thing, then yeah. I thought about doing that one time, which is funny. But yeah, I was down for it. It didn't happen, but yeah, I was down for it. So another thing is arguing with each other and falling out, and I have seen this on a lot of YouTube videos. Like, if you go do your research on like places that you want to go to, so you go look up like little vlogs and stuff and girls trips. A lot of people get into it on their girls trips, and I've seen a few videos where people were fighting, and I just feel like, was the anger and animosity there before y'all went on this trip? And if it wasn't, it's kind of like, what happened that was so deep where somebody had to put their hands on their friend? Like, and usually it's either about a dude or it's about money. Though I feel like those are the only two things that would cause friends to really fall out and put their hands on each other on a girls trip. And I know that women like to show off when they are in front of dudes, which I think is very, very, very weird. Or this not even on a girls trip type level, but if a friend invites you somewhere and you're like, what's the dress code or whatever, some friends will try to downplay the dress code just so they can one-up you. Like, the attention will not be on you, and that's weird behavior to me. Like, me, if somebody's like, oh, it's like chilled and all this and that, for one, I want to see a flyer. I want to see where you saw it at, so I can get a feel for what the dress code is like. Like, I can go see it for myself. But if you tell me that it's chilled and all this and that, and then I get there and everybody got on like heels and dresses, I'm going to feel some type of way. Even if you got on heels and dresses, heels and a dress, I'm going to feel some type of way, because it's like, so why didn't you tell me to dress that way? And I'm the type of person where I overdress a lot, or at least I feel like I overdress. Like when I went out on Saturday in Myrtle Beach, I was definitely overdressed and I look good as shit. Like y'all have seen the dress before if you follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. You have seen my dress before, like mesh and it's black. Yeah. It's a sexy dress now. So I was looking good. Body was bodying with the stomach and all. Like I was looking good, and of course most women had on like pants, sweats, shorts. So yeah, I felt definitely overdressed when I first went in there. And then as the night went on, I was like, yeah, definitely overdressed. But it was a good time. I had a good little vibe and all of that. Um, yeah, so I feel like you have to watch people when it comes to them telling you dress codes, because I have heard stories about that where girls will like downplay how you're supposed to dress just so that you will not one up them. And I think it's crazy when you have jealousy in your friend group. I don't know why you would want to be friends with somebody who you secretly envy. Like I don't get it. And those are the people that you got to watch. Like the video that I saw when the girls were recording and the girl pulled off her friend's lash. Like yeah, you got to watch those people, because those are the people that will harm you. High key. I was going to say low key, but no, that's like the story of the girl that poured acid on the girl's face because she was jealous of her. She was really pretty. You got to watch people and watch your surroundings and all of that. And when you argue with people, you really have to watch them, and hopefully it's not like a gang up type of thing, but you like definitely really have to watch people. And I feel like me, when I argue with people, I don't want to say like I hold on to that like a grudge type thing, but I gotta see what your vibe is like to see how we move forward. Excuse me, because I cannot talk to you for the rest of the trip unless I have to, like on some what time we going here, or such and such told me to ask you what time we going here. But even then, if somebody told me to ask you, I'm probably gonna be like, nah, you can go ask her or something, because I don't really know how to move forward with that. So that's the type of person I am. I'm gonna wait to see what type of vibe you're on, if we got into it, or if I'm getting a vibe from you. I'm just gonna wait to see if you talk first or whatever, because I'm not pressed to be in nobody's face, be nobody's friend, nothing. And that goes for family too. Like, I'm not pressed for a thing when it comes to anybody. And that brings me to the Shanquella Robinson story with her friends, or so-called friends, going on trips out the country and then showing out. And I really hate that. Rest in peace to her. That goes back to me saying be mindful who you travel with. But those people have been friends for years, and I don't know, like, you have to watch people. And if you feel that something is off, 9 times out of 10 it probably is. If you get a vibe from this person, where it's like they always coming for me, or they always have something to say about this, or I be getting like little looks like this. I want to say I was in middle school, and let's just say, like, of course, if me and my sister wear the same size, I might have on a coat of hers. If we wear the same shoes, I might wear a pair of shoes of hers or something. And every time that somebody gave me a compliment on something, let's just say I had my sister's coat on or something, one of my friends would always be like, oh, that's her sister's. Like, she would never hesitate. Like, it was like she was ready. Every time somebody gave me a compliment on something, oh, that's her sister's. And it's just like, girl, and I couldn't wait to get home and tell my sister, like, that's weird energy to me. So I feel like somebody like that, if me and her were still like friends, like close, that's somebody that you would have to watch, especially if it continue into adulthood. Like, that's somebody that you would have to watch, because it's like, why do you feel the need to say that every time that I have on something with my sisters? Or why do you feel the need to let people know that? I might have let you know that, or you might be like, oh, in your mind you might be thinking like, oh, I've never seen her with that before, that might be her sisters or something. But it's like, why do you feel the need to say that? It's kind of like you want people to not compliment me or take back my compliment, or you don't want me to have that. And it's like, you can go out here and get, stuff that's nice as well. So yeah, but those type of people, you gotta watch them, because it's weird energy. It's kind of like I'm not even gonna say a little bit of envy and jealousy, because that's what it is. That you are ready to throw your friend under the bus for a little bit of attention, or to take the attention off her, or have people looking at her sideways. So yeah, you gotta watch people and how they move. And that's why I this is funny. So it was this dude, same dude I said I went to Charlotte with. So I always say that I'm not a people person, which I am not. I don't do women or anything like that. Like, I don't mind if I'm dealing with a dude and he has like best friends or male friends, and they have girlfriends, and they want us to vibe or, get to know each other. I'm open to it. I'm cool. But my man already know how I get down. He already knows that I don't really do women. He knows that I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to speak. Try to make a little bit of conversation or whatever. But if it's not reciprocated, baby, I'm not forcing nothing. That's not my vibe. I don't care if we talk. I'm just here for my man. That's it. I'm here for my man. I'm not here for the ladies or anything like that, because I can easily be off in the corner on my phone or glued to my man. So it really doesn't matter. But I told the dude that I was dealing with, I was like, before we go on trips like out of town, I gotta see what your friends' vibes are like in town, so we can do like a trip to Charlotte, or I don't know, like trip to the beach or something. But we not doing like no far away trip where we got to get on the plane and all of that. And I don't know what your friends' vibes are like, or I don't know how you really are around these type of people, because I am very reserved, which y'all know I'm reserved. I keep to myself. So if somebody, let's just say we sitting down at the table and somebody asks me like, oh, why you so quiet? For one, I'm going into defense mode, because I feel like you could have asked me that privately before we got to this table in front of everybody. Now everybody eyeballs are all on me, and I don't like that. I hate when people stare at me. It's annoying. I don't like that much attention. So for one, my face is automatically going to screw up. Before I continue on with this episode, depending on the platform that you are listening to my podcast on, hit that plus sign or follow button to keep up with each and every episode. Also, if you really support me, in the description box of this episode, hit the listener support link and work your magic. We are going to go ahead and get back into the episode. I'm on 10 now. And so I feel like I might be like, oh, I'm just like, that's just how I am. But if you talk to me, I'll talk to you. And it might come off like I have a little attitude, which I do at that point, because I feel like you could have asked me that privately. But I feel like the dude that I was dealing with, that he probably would have been like, yeah, I told her that she needs to da-da-da-da-da. And baby, that trip would have went to the left, like, very quickly, because I would have had to check him. Like, I would have gave him this look, or I would have been like, don't do that. Like, you already know how I am. We've been dealing with each other for blah, blah, blah. You know how I am, so don't do that. and had his friends tried to come to his defense, I would have had to check them too. So, yeah, it probably would have been me against the table. So, I feel like that right there, just for me not to ruin no trip out the country or far, far away on the other side of town or in the States or whatever, I prefer to see what the vibes are like with your group of friends locally. Then we can do some traveling or whatever once I see what the vibes are like. But I'ma still be on like I'ma still be on like guard and peeping energy while I'm out of town, because I don't know, people get a little different, start breathing in different air, and they just act weird. I don't know, but I wouldn't have time for that. And I had heard something one time I forgot where I heard it at. Oh, it was Strawberry Letter with Steve Harvey. And the girl, this married, I don't know if they were married or they were just boyfriend and girlfriend, I can't remember. But the girl went on a girls trip, and they were supposed to go out that night or whatever, but I think they were like drinking in the room or whatever, and they got a little too lit, so they ended up like messing around with each other, because I think one of the girls that were there, I don't know how, we're just gonna say it was 4 girls, excuse me, 4 girls, and the girl who was in a 2 girls were in a relationship from what I know, and the other 2, they were single. So the girl who was in a relationship, one girl who was in a relationship, her and her man, they do threesomes. That's what they do. The other girl, they don't. So they started like messing around or whatever, and I guess that was like normal to them. That's just something that one of the girls did, or the girl who was in a relationship with the dude and she doesn't do threesomes or anything like that, she doesn't know anything about this is what goes on. So they all start messing around. She with it. Like I said, they been drinking, so all 4 girls like messing around at this point. So they do what they do, we all know. So they don't go out, of course, because they in there hunching and munching. So I think they say that they're gonna all keep it between them, or they probably never say that. I don't know. Excuse me. So they go back home or whatever. Everything is cool. So you know how people pillow talk, which is why a lot of people say like they not gonna do no pillow talking or anything like that with their man or their woman, which I don't feel like anything is wrong with it. I like a little pillow talk. Like, I want to talk to my man about, oh, I went on this trip, this and that happened. But some things you have to leave out, I feel like, and not like in like a sneaky way. So I don't know. I probably would have had to tell my man that, because I done munched on something. And somebody done munched on me. So I feel like, and that's kind of like another partner. So I would have to tell my man that I couldn't keep that from him. And plus, I don't need the men coming up here like, oh, so it's okay for y'all to keep that because it was another woman. But, so yeah, I would tell my man that, because I don't want the trust to be broken if he finds out. So I would tell him like, yeah, just so you know, me and the girls like messed around, and yeah, we was doing the munching, and he might be like, what you mean? And I'm gonna have to break it down for him. But yeah, I feel like that's something that you probably should pillow talk about. So yeah, I would want my man to pillow talk to me though. Like, you can be like, don't go back and tell this or tell that, and make sure you say that in the beginning and say it in the end, so it doesn't, leave the bedroom, leave the pillow. But excuse me. I feel like pillow talking with your partner is healthy though. I like that. I feel like it for one, it's communication, and I don't see a issue with that at all. Talk to me, tell me about how your homeboys out here slinging dick, and how they about to propose to that girl, and they want to plan this and that for their girl. They got a side piece on the side, like, tell me that. They got a little sneaky link. I want to know. Tell me. Yes, tell me. So, the girl who has threesomes with her man, she went back home, and I guess she pillow talked with her man, because next thing you know, the girl who didn't have threesomes with her man was confronting her about the munching. So then he ended up breaking it off with her. And she was like, how can she get him back? And, but she really did like the whole situation that was going on. And I don't know if she was like, can she convince him, like, to try threesomes and all of that. But I feel like first you got to get your man back. And if that's not something that he was into in the beginning, or if that's not something that he was into and he left you for it, it might not be best that you try to convince him to be in the threesomes, because he wasn't into it when you went out and fucked on your friends. But then again, this is a different situation. You want him to be involved and fuck on somebody too. So, I don't know. So my question, well, before I get into my question, this is not something that regularly happens on girls' trips. So, men don't think that that's the case. I don't go on a whole bunch of girls' trips. So, I don't think it's a thing that goes on a regular on girls' trips. So I asked my male followers on my social medias. Again, if you follow me on Snapchat, on Twitter, or X as they call it now, you will know what my questions are for my podcast. But well, sometimes I don't say what it's for, but either way it goes, you can answer. So I asked 2 questions. I said, how would you feel if your woman told you she messed around with her friends on the girls' trip? So I'm going to read the answers to that first, just so I don't get it confused. And then I'm going to go back around and do question 2 and then give those answers. So somebody said that they would thank her for her honesty and forget about it. So another person said if it was communicated at the beginning, and then it's cool. If not, then there will be some trust issues between the two. So another guy said he normally dates women that are bi anyway. And then someone else said that they would break up with her. This person said that they would bring the friend over for a threesome. I feel that. So then another person said the younger horny him would want to get in on the action. Yeah, so that's that. But the new him, he wouldn't stay. So then someone else said it's harmless unless they get attached. Most women have or thought about it. You right. You on to something. I can agree there. I can. Yeah. So someone else said, they hope that she had fun, but they're breaking up, which I can hear them saying that. So then another person said that they would encourage it, which I can't even say that I'm surprised based off of previous conversations, so I'm not really surprised by that answer from that person. So question 2 says, how do you feel about your woman going on girls' trips and some of her friends are single? Now, this has always been a topic because a lot of men feel like a woman's single friends like encourage her a lot to do like some stupid shit. And they feel like some men feel like their woman should not have single friends. Like if she's in a relationship, she needs friends who are in a relationship as well. Excuse me. If she's married, she needs friends who are married. Like leave the single girls alone. So it was interesting to see some of y'all answers, but somebody said that if she messes up a good thing, that's on her. Someone else said he would want her to make distinction that her friends are single, not her. Someone else said be grown and intentional on your decision making. Someone else said that they don't go on trips without each other. Someone else said they wouldn't mind her going with single friends as long as he doesn't get loose vibes from her friends. Someone else said that they don't like it, but they trust their girl unless her friends are ratchet. And that one tickled me. So someone else said they don't see a problem. Maintain respect and trust. If it's rocky before the trip, he would fall back altogether and give her her space. This person said they don't care if she steps out with a guy that's free reign with another woman and is going to be with someone he shouldn't be talking to. Oh Lord, because I could just But yeah, so I have voice notes for these two questions, so I am going to insert them right now.
I can't say that I'll be bothered by it all that much. Granted, as long as she's not trying to leave me for her friend. But, I mean, if it's like an occasional thing, sure, go ahead. I'll go with a probably pretty typical response and say I wouldn't mind watching, you know, just being a fly on the wall during this situation. I mean, I would go under the assumption that, some of her friends are single. I wouldn't expect everybody to be booed up. Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't. Everybody gotta have some fun.
Before I continue on with this episode, depending on the platform that you are listening to my podcast on, hit that plus sign or follow button to keep up with each and every episode. Also, if you really support me, in the description box of this episode, hit the listener support link and work your magic. We are going to go ahead and get back into the episode.
Girl told me that she messed around with one of her friends on a trip. I want to know, was it a male or female? And what led up to that? Like, was it just a drunken night, drunk things happen, or was it something that been building up? Either way, I would be upset and hurt, a mixture of both, because if that's my woman, then it shouldn't have happened, period, unless we had talked about it. Honestly, I wouldn't feel no type of way because you gotta have trust. And there's gonna be times where I'm gonna go on some guys' trip and some of my homeboys are single. So that trust gotta go both ways. Now, if it's certain place now, they talking about going to a singles resort or a swingers ball, like, oh, hell nah, that ain't gonna happen. But if it's just a trip, like, even if it's out the country, like, it gotta be a level of trust though.
So hearing some of y'all answers, or most of them, I'm happy that y'all trust y'all girl to go on girls trips or whatever. And it was funny that some of you were like, the first question where if she messed around with the girl, it was funny that some of you were like, you guys would want to watch or get in on it. Um, my question to y'all is, do y'all not feel like that would create problems in the relationship? And I could have sworn that somebody said, okay, it was one of the voice notes that was just like, it will only be an issue if she wants to leave you for the person. So yeah, that would be my concern. And it's like, you guys, to those that were like, if they can get in on the fun or whatever, are y'all ready for that? Like, I know that, people want to watch and whatever, but, yeah, I just feel like that is opening a door. And yeah, I mean, if you're okay, like, what if she's like, that you cannot get in on it? Like, you can't sit there and watch them and all of that. So then would it become an issue? Or would y'all still feel like, okay, it's just a woman, so it's not a problem? So I'm just curious, like, do y'all feel like that would cause an issue if she lets you watch? Like, would that cause a problem in your relationship? Like, because I feel like that's opening a door, and seeing that this is one of her friends, I feel like it's a higher chance that you might get left for this woman. But that's just me. I don't really know. But yeah, and then somebody did say they're going to ask for some tips from the woman, because clearly they lacking. And I like that you're open to tips, but I mean, so my question to that is, are you just saying that you will be open to the tips? Like, what you really receive is, she was like, okay, just get down there, do this, do this, do this. Would you really receive that, though? Or are you just saying that? Which I don't really think that you're just saying that, but I'm just curious. Like, would you really receive it if she was like, okay, just get down there, spread it like this, put your finger here, do this, do that, do that. Would you really receive that? So I'm just curious. Now me, I'm that friend, like, I flirt. It's like, certain friends that you can do that with. Like, I have my few girlfriends or whatever that I know, like, when they dance, I can smack a cheek or two. Or I can, like, flirt with them, like, okay, girl, like, pull their hair, choke them a little bit, like, um, I know that I can joke with them like that, like, we're on that type of time. But it's never like, okay, I'm about to go take them down to the bedroom, like, no, it's none of that. Like, I can squeeze a boob or so. But yeah, it's never like, okay, I'm going to leave my man for you, or they gonna leave their man for me, like, or we munching on each other. Like, no, we're not doing that. Although I'm very munchable, but it's not that. We're not doing that. It's all playful, fun type thing. Your man can watch if he wants to, like, while I smack a cheek. Pull your hair while you're dancing. That's the type of friend I am. Like, I like to have fun. I done whispered in a few of my friends' ear, like, girl. Like, that's the type of friend that I am, which they already know. So, I don't know if they man know, but he gonna find out. Or he probably did. I don't know. But yeah, that's the type of friend I am. I'm very playful. I like to flirt. I like women. Like, not like that, but women are beautiful. I compliment women left and right. Like, and that's who I am. Yeah, if I see a beautiful woman, I'm gonna be like, damn, she beautiful. Like, I'm going to tell my man, like, damn, she beautiful. Or I'm gonna tell my male friend or whoever, like, that's a pretty woman. Like, I have to make sure that I tell her that she's pretty. I might sit there and look at her for a little minute, like, damn. Like, I just like looking at beautiful women. But that's it. That's as far as it goes. I'm not sure if I said this up here before, but I've done something with somebody before, like, she was attractive to me. We were attracted to each other. Excuse me. Did a little smooch. She might have munched on it a little bit, but yeah, didn't return the favor for a specific reason. But yeah, so that's as far as I ever went. She wasn't leaving her man for me. And we weren't even on that, like, being together type thing, because I don't see myself munching on no thing full time. Like, that's not something that I can do. I don't even think I can do that part time. So no, like, I love men. I love everything about them. So, and I don't want a woman that acts like a man. Not saying that she did, but I feel like if I was to deal with someone that is the same as me, I need you to be feminine. Like, I don't need you walking around like a nigga. I'm not with that. If that's the case, I'm gonna get a man. Now, mind you, studs, gorgeous. Love them. Like, I be looking like, but that's all I'm gonna do. And femmes, I be like, But again, that's all I'm gonna do. I might flirt with one. I done flirted with a few, being out and dance with a few, got a few numbers, but that's as far as it's gonna go. Like, I'm not munching on you, and don't know if I would let you munch on me, but yeah, I'm not doing that. So yeah, I like y'all little answers. They was cool. I like them. They was nice. Like I said, keep the trust there. And to those of you that want to get in on the action, yeah, it goes back to my question, where do y'all feel like that would cause some issues in y'all relationship? And yeah, and the crazy thing is, for those of you that were like, y'all would want to watch, I said that I would want my man to, like, be off to the side and him watching me get pleasured by another man. And I don't know what man would be, like, into that, which I'm pretty sure is somebody out there, but it's just, like, for head purposes. Like, yeah, a guy doing that, and then, like, after I'm all the way, turned on, then we can kick him out. Me and my man can do what we do. But it's more so me, like, getting that done and peeping over at my man and seeing him turned on from me being turned on. That's what it is. That's it. So, yeah, but I'm pretty sure some of y'all just listened to that and was like, what? But yeah, that's what I want. I do. So if my man was like, well, I just want to watch you with the girl, and I'm be like, okay, sit in the corner and watch a man munch on me, and yeah, even exchange, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Real and Raw with Ree. Make sure you hit that plus or follow button depending on what platform you're listening to my podcast on, so you get updates about each and every episode. Make sure you rate, make sure you comment, do my polls and Q&As on Spotify and Spotify only. Also hit that link in the description box to support my podcast. And if you are new here, welcome. I hope you become a loyal listener. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.